Hello students, I am Pushpa Saha from KV Kamla Nehru Nagar, and today I will be teaching you the poem. The name of the poem is Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. You know children, here is the picture of Robert Frost you can see in the slide. Robert Lee Frost, he was born on 26th March 1874 and he died on 29 January 1963. He was an American poet. He was born in America, so he was an American poet. You have read one of his poem in class 9th also, and the name of the poem was The Road Not Taken. And that was also a very philosophical poem. And here you will see that Fire and Ice is also a very philosophical poem. Fire and Ice is one of Robert Frost's most popular poems. It was published in December 1920 in Harper's Magazine, and in 1923 he also received the Pulitzer Prize winning book New Hampshire. In this poem, it discusses the end of the world, likening the elemental force of fire with the emotion of desire and ice with hatred. It is one of the Frost's best known poems. So this was the introduction of Robert Frost and Fire and Ice. Let us go into the next slide. Here you can see on one side fire is symbolized, and on the other side ice is symbolized. And Fire and Ice is a symbolic poem. Fire symbolizes passion of desire and ice symbolizes hatred. We will read in the poem how it is symbolized. You can see here, we all know that fire, it can destroy anything. It can destroy everything. Like if the sun gets so hot, what would happen one day? One day it will burst into fire and there will be fire everywhere, which would destroy everything, every life of human being. Here you can see in the same way, if the temperature goes extremely low, what will happen? There will be ice everywhere on the earth and no life would sustain, because if it is too cold, it is very difficult to inhale the oxygen, and as a result what would happen, you cannot live on that place, in that area, isn't it? You cannot adapt yourself if it is surrounded by ice. Next slide. Let us see what is written in next slide. Here you can see on one side there is fire and on the other side there is ice. Poet says that both fire and ice are growing with such a speed that the world would soon perish in either ways. I explained you earlier in the last slide, if there will be fire everywhere, then also there will be no life on this earth. And in the same way, if there is too cold, if the weather is too cold, if everywhere there is snow, then also what would happen? We cannot sustain. So what we have to do? We have to control our desires and hatred to make this world to live in. We have to control the fire and ice so that we can live in a place properly in a very peaceful manner. Let us see next slide what is written. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. These are the lines of the poem, children. 9 lines are there in this poem. Again, I am repeating the lines of the poem. Fire and ice. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Here, poet Robert Frost, what he wants to say, he says that in this world, some refers to some people. Some people, what they say, that the end will end in fire. The world can be destroyed in two ways, either by fire or by ice. So some people, they say that the world will be destroyed either by fire or by ice. I have explained you earlier in the slides. From what I have tasted of desire, I refers to the poet. The poet says that he has tasted. The meaning of tasted here is experienced. He has tasted of desire. Here, children, I would like to tell you, this is a symbolic poem, I have already told you. Here, fire symbolizes to passion of more desire. Fire symbolizes to passion of more desire, means the person wants to have much of the money, much of the lust, much of the avarice. That is why it is said that it will end. And some say in ice. Ice is also, this is symbolized as the hatred. If we hate each other, what will happen? The people will fight with each other and there will be no more life in this world. So the poet wants to say that either by passion of more desire or by the hatred, people will die, because in both the cases people will suffer. And this he says because he has, the poet has, I refers to poet, he says that he has experienced all this desire, and that is why he could say with much more proof, I hold with those who favors fire. And he says that I hold means support. He supports this saying because poet has also experienced. That is why poet says that desire is better than hatred. In this line, he is telling that desire is better than hatred, because if you desire money, that means you want to get more and money, more and more money. It is fine, but if there is hatred between yourself, what would happen? You will become enemy of each other and you will fight among yourself and you will ruin your life. This is what the poet wants to say in these 4 lines. So I would like to again repeat here, written in slide. End in fire means this world will end in a fireball. In ice means freezing of the world, which will cause end of the world. From what I have tasted, from my experience, I have told you. Tasted of desire means experienced passions and desire in love. Hold with those means support those persons. Who favors fire means those who believe that this world will end in fire. Now, let us move to the next slide, children. In the next slide, next 5 lines are, but if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. In these 5 lines, the poet, he wants to tell that if it had to perish, here it refers to the world. If the world had to perish, perish means to die twice. Once it will die by the passion of desire, and secondly, it will die by hatred. So the poet says, but if it has to perish, if it has to be destroyed, the world has to be destroyed, it will destroy in two ways: by passion of desire and by hatred. Passion of desire is denoted by, symbolized by fire, and hatred is denoted by ice. Then in the next line, what does the poet say? I think I know enough of hate. Here also the poet wants to say that he has experienced enough of hate. He has seen people hating each other. Maybe it is revolved in his life. This is related to his life. That is why he is saying that he has got experience of this. So he feels that he has been hated by some people. So he says that, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great. And he also says that by the hatred also, the world may perish. The world would die. And would suffice, it means to be enough to bring about same effect. Means the ice as well as the fire, both of these two things are enough to destroy this world. Is it clear, all of you children? So the main thing is this, that fire and ice is symbolized as passion of desire and hatred. Fire stands for passion of desire and ice stands for hatred. These are the main things you have to understand. By both the ways, the world has to perish. Now these are the meanings of the second stanza. Perish means die, enough means sufficient, hate means dislike, destruction means ruin, and suffice means be sufficient. Now, what is in the next slide? Let us see. Here you can see how we can segregate these two ideas under ice, under fire, and under ice. See here, fire stands for following ideas, that is greed, avarice, lust, fury, conflict, cruelty. Under these areas, we can find desire of passion, passion of desire. People, they want more and more money, they want more and more lust, they are very angry, they can do anything, there is conflict in their mind, there is cruelty in their mind. So we can get all these things in fire. And ice stands for following ideas: intolerance. If people are having intolerance among them, that means they are having hatred, they have hatred, they have the feeling of hatred. Rigidity also makes the people, brings the hatred among the people. Then insensitivity, coldness, indifference, hatred. So these are the points which you have to understand. Now what is in the next slide? Literary devices. Without the literary devices, poem is incomplete. Because what is the use of literary devices? I have already explained you. If literary devices are not there in the poem, then the beauty in the poem, it lacks. So rhyme scheme is there in this poem, and the rhyme scheme of the first and the second stanza is written here: A B A A, and in the second stanza B C B C B. As you know, children, alliteration, what is alliteration? Repetition of the same sound letter in the same line with or without intruder. Some say world will, favors, fire, etc. So many alliteration instances are there that you can search from the poem. Then comes next is enjambment. What is the meaning of enjambment? You have told in earlier classes also. Continuity of two and more lines and without punctuation mark. Example, there is no punctuation mark in these two lines. There is no full stop. If more than one line, that is two or more than two lines are there without punctuation mark, that is called enjambment. And personification, you know what is personification? When the non-living thing is acted as living thing. Fire and ice are non-living thing. But here in this poem, they are given mind and power to destroy anything. So personification is used here. And now you have to solve the questions for MCQs. You will click here and you will get the MCQs questions. Thank you. Thank you, children.